Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. How's everybody doing? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comment sections. Let's get into it. Am I wrong for being upset that my wife broke our bed because of her weight? My 32 male, wife 30 female, and I have been married for 4 years, together for 7. When we met, she was very active and healthy. She used to run races, meal prep, and was generally full of energy. I admired her for her discipline and drive. Over the last couple of years, after her father died, she has completely changed her lifestyle. She eats fast food almost daily, sometimes more than once a day. When I suggest we cook at home or maybe try to eat healthier together, she laughs it off or says she's too tired. I never pressured her or called her names. I have only tried to suggest healthier options and support her without being judgmental. As a result, she has gained a lot of weight. She also complains consistently about back pain, knee pain, and feeling exhausted. I have offered to meal prep with her, take walks together, even start fun challenges to get motivated. Every time she either ignores it or accuses me of being shallow. Last week, something happened that I feel made it impossible to ignore anymore. We were in bed watching TV when she shifted her weight to get up. The bed frame cracked loudly and one of the support beams completely snapped. The bed basically collapsed under us. She was embarrassed but tried to laugh it off, blaming it on the bed being old. The thing is, the bed was barely 2 years old and had a weight limit we were nowhere near exceeding when we first bought it. It was a sturdy bed. I did not say anything in the moment because I knew she was humiliated. I helped her up. We slept on the mattress on the floor that night. The next day, I suggested again that maybe it was time we started focusing on being healthier for both our sakes. She immediately blew up at me, accusing me of fat-shaming her and being cruel. She said the bed breaking had nothing to do with her and that I was just looking for an excuse to make her feel bad. Now she'll barely speak to me. She even told her friends I body-shamed her because the bed broke, and they have been messaging me calling me an a-hole. For the record, I love my wife. I want her to be healthy and happy, but it feels like I'm being forced to ignore a very real problem just to spare her feelings. I feel like OP is not necessarily in the wrong because there is a difference between body shaming and fat shaming somebody just for simply existing, and then for you, being concerned with someone's health. Because no matter how you flip it, at the end of the day, when somebody is gaining a lot of excessive weight, and they're literally in a depressive episode basically because OP said that she was taking care of herself before, it's not good for their health. As somebody who used to be very skinny and then who gained, I think, like 60 pounds, I only gained 60 pounds, but I'm short, I'm 5'2". My back, the way my back was hurting, the way my knees were hurting, I was always feeling so sad and depressed and insecure. And honestly, if somebody was to tell me like, hey, what you're doing to yourself is not good, you should take care of yourself, that's not a rude thing or that's not an insult, and they're definitely not body shaming you. There's a difference between when somebody is like consistently making fun of you for simply just being there and existing, and when someone actually cares about your health. Because gaining weight is not good for you at the end of the day, no matter how you flip it. Like, you don't have to be rude to somebody about their body, but you could tell somebody what they're doing is not good for them and that they can take care of themselves without insulting them or being rude to them. And I feel like OP's just trying to help his wife out, because when you love somebody and they die, people become depressed, people become sad. I just feel like he needs to sit her down for real and talk to her. And after that, if she doesn't take his, advice, then so be it. What is he supposed to do? Top comment: when my dad passed away, I really was messed up. My partner at the time saw me making similar choices like your wife. He started running and going out to eat at healthier places, and he would just cook at home. Didn't ask how I felt about, just started doing it and would always invite me to join him. One healthy meal after another, I started to feel a bit better. Then a walk was added, then the gym, and a year later, I was almost myself again. I feel like that's nice. It really is. Because if you love somebody, because you can't be like, oh, every single little thing hurts my feelings. Nobody can tell me anything. I'm just going to do whatever I want. At the end of the day, the actions that we take have consequences. When you're not taking care of yourself, you're just eating anything, you're just doing anything, you're not working out, you're not eating healthy, you're going to gain weight. And even if you don't gain weight, there's people who are so skinny and tiny. But at the end of the day, eating unhealthy is still not good for you, whether you're skinny or not. If someone just who clearly loves you and cares about you tells you, hey, please don't do this to yourself, this is not good for you, I don't think they're necessarily body shaming you guys. I feel like some things are just a little too far. I don't think someone who cares about your health is body shaming you. Am I wrong for doing nothing for the child my ex-wife had from her affair, even now that I have primary custody of our kids? 6 years ago, I, 36 male, learned that my ex-wife, 37 female, was cheating on me. I ended our marriage and filed for divorce, but everything was delayed because she was pregnant. Once her child was born, it was established that I was not the biological father. My name was removed from the birth certificate and the biological father name was added. They were a couple at this point. Throughout, we shared 50-50 custody of our 3 children together. My kids were old enough to figure out what happened. I got them therapy eventually after my ex resisted putting them in therapy, and we had talks about everything. I did my best to reassure them that they didn't need to hate anyone for me or reject anyone on my behalf. But their relationship with their mom never recovered, and the relationship with her youngest never existed from what I know. The affair partner took off 3 years ago, and since then, my ex-wife has requested that I take an active part in her child's life because I'm so involved in our kids' lives. Each and every time she has made this request via parenting app, I have firmly said no. She tried to take full custody of our kids because I refused to include her youngest, and a judge told her it didn't work like that, and I did not have a legal responsibility to her youngest child. I ended up with primary custody of my children a year ago because my ex-wife made some very bad decisions and not only lost the house she was staying in, but lost her job, had no savings, and overall was left with next to nothing. After this happened, her request for me to do something for her child increased. I ignored them for the most part and did as I was instructed to do by my lawyer, and replied to the ones that indicated I was responsible for ensuring the child was adequately cared for. Those I did say no to, and I reminded her there were places she could go if she needed help feeding her youngest. Our kids still must go to her house for her every other weekend visitation, and they hate it, which angers my ex because they have zero relationship with her youngest, and it angers her that I won't ensure that all of the kids have a good relationship and that her youngest knows what it's like to have a fatherly figure. She said she allows me to adopt her child if I was willing. Then she said she would at least like me to do something, to express some care for her child, send birthday and Christmas gifts, send food occasionally, offer to let her child join in for some activities. I do none of this. I have asked my kids if they would like to spend more time with their half-sibling or give gifts, but they have always said no, and they told me when they can make the decision not to go to their mom's house, they won't have anything to do with her youngest child either. My ex has become more angry because there are things her child has missed out on, and apparently they ask more questions now. Some of her messages on the app are now extremely hostile. There's nothing I can do about this for the moment, but they're saved, so if we end up back in court, they can be shown. She told me I act like I'm such a good person, but I treat a child like trash. I don't feel bad exactly. I know I would have a very hard time being around this child and their innocence, so I prefer to stay away and not let them feel the weight of my issues with their mother and how they were conceived. But maybe that makes me an awful person. I know at the end of all of this is a child who has only got my ex and nobody else, and the child is innocent like I stated, which brought me here to ask, am I the a-hole? I mean, honestly, you didn't do anything wrong. You were the one who was wronged. You were the one who got cheated on. You're the one whose family broke up because of someone else's infidelity. But at the same time, even though it's better to stay away from something or somebody if you're feeling resentment towards them, because resentment shows one way or the other, resentment shows. No matter how you try to hide your hatred or your resentment towards somebody, you're always going to show it. And showing resentment towards an innocent child who didn't even do anything to you is literally ghetto. But at the same time, knowing OP, how he's talking about this lady, his ex-wife, and how much of an unstable person she is, at the end of the day, that child is just an innocent child. I would just be nice to the child just the way I would be nice to a random child, And this is not just a random child. This is the sibling of your kids at the end of the day. I would just tell my kids to get along with their sibling, to be nice to their sibling, to let the sibling play activities with them. This is just an innocent child. They didn't do anything wrong here. I would just bring them a gift or two for their birthday and Christmas. I would just be nice to the child at the end of the day. I'm always for the kids. I don't care about what a grown adult. Someone can literally smack me in my face if it's their when it comes to their child. I'm being nice to it because kids are just innocent. They didn't actually be brought into this world, and they don't know nothing about grown adult beefs. And you trying to punish this lady, but at the end of the day, what did this kid do to you? Yeah, stay away from it, I would say, obviously. But I would just bring the child a gift or two, dang. And I would tell my kids to be nice to their sibling, because even in this situation, the mom is awful, yeah, but she did what she did. But these children, they're siblings no matter what. And it's not, I would just tell my kids to get along with their sibling. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't even want the kids to be together, even though he said he doesn't care, and he told his kids not to, feel bad for him or not to be angry at anybody on his behalf. But I feel like if he actually cared, he would have been like, yeah, hey, you guys, this is your guys' youngest child. It's your mom's child. He's your sibling or she's your sibling. Be nice to them and, include them in your activities. Share whatever you guys have with them. They're just the kid, and they're just your siblings at the end of the day. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. One coin OP is okay to me, but the other time, what do you guys think? Do you think that he should, be more nice to the child, or do you think he should just stay away 100%?